High frequencies. This is just to let you know this is going to be a long video because I had a long night of dream sequences. And I think I'm going to go into most of what I experienced unless I'm told otherwise, unless my spirit tells me otherwise. But other than that, I know I'm going to go into it and share with you these various experiences of the dream world. And I'm going to go over it pretty slow, so that all of it can come to my remembrance and I don't forget any parts of the dream. Because even this morning doing my Qigong and meditation, I remembered a part of it that, when I first woke up, I had totally forgot. So, high frequencies, fam. Right now, the frequencies are high. We are marching into a new paradigm of the experience, which on the Gregorian calendar that they have created, they're calling it 2022. For our spirit beings, there is no real number we want to put towards it. We may put a symbol on it, but not an energy number. But 2022, if we had to put the energy of 6 on it, that could be possible as well for some. I'm gonna go into it, and I got numbers. The first part of the dream, I had pulled my vehicle, had parked up on this part of the lawn at this school. There was a woman that I knew that was passing by. I do know her in this reality too. And she saw my car. Well, when I got out the car, I'm like, where's the wheel? I saw the axle and the brakes and everything, but I didn't see the brake pads. I didn't see the actual tire. So I looked behind, I'm like, okay, the tire's there, but it was another spinning part of the wheel that I tried to attach. It was made of like this metal springs, and I was trying to attach it back, and when I did, this silver piece on this spring that went around the wheel popped off. And I was like, oh, there's not going to be a way that I'm going to be able to drive this, because if I do drive it, it's going to pop and break and everything's going to fall apart. It's best that I leave the car here and let me call for assistance. So I called my guy, let him know what was going on. He was like, okay, I'm going to get it taken care of. I was like, okay, cool. So I end up in like the school or gymnasium area, and I'm looking for room 313. And then I'm looking for room 327. And then I'm back downstairs with one of the coaches, and I find out that my vehicle is ready. That they had got one tow guy, ended up being $80, and he said he didn't let him get it, but another guy that he knew came and fixed it. I saw paperwork or something that said $545. And he told me, he said, just pay him $45 and give me $22. And I paid the man $45, but I gave him $30. He was like, oh, okay, thank you, because I gave him extra. So then the dream goes from there. It was like kind of the introduction into me being released into a series of other dreams that end up occurring. And I can't remember completely the order. I can remember the very end, but I can't remember the order of the sequence of these next dreams. I'm and try to go as they just come. So I remember being with a friend, and she had younger children, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, I was in the car with her, or I was on the phone with her, and she was in the car, and I was hearing these young children in the background. I was like, oh my goodness. Like, I'm not used to the young children, because my son is grown now, and then you decided to have some more babies. And so we was on the phone laughing about that. She was like, yeah, I know. So ended up, I get to a hospital where I'm with this young lady. It's like, I know her. She's pregnant. She's getting ready to give birth. And I'm like, okay. It wasn't like I didn't know her. I knew her. It was like I was there to help her, give birth. And as you all know, I've been having these dreams for the last few months of a pregnant lady, like in labor, getting ready to give birth. So in this particular part of the dream, I'm there, and the baby is starting to come out. Like, I turn around and I see the head of the baby comes. I see her stretched out, and the baby's head is out. And I'm like, okay, call the nurse. So then my mother appears, and I was like, we need to call the nurse to tell the nurse to come in and, like, deliver the baby. She's ready. And we called the nurse. The nurse was like, okay. She was asking us a series of questions, like, how far along. It was like, the baby head is out. Like, she's ready to deliver. So then I asked the mother, I was like, are you in any pain? And she was just laying there. She was like, yeah, I feel it. And I was like, wow, you doing way better than I did. I was like, I was in pain. Like, you laying here like, oh, it's okay. So then the baby head comes out. The next thing you know, the whole baby comes out. And I remember that's when it was like my energy came up close to her. I'm seeing the baby on her chest. Now, when the baby first comes out, the heart and the lungs was outside of the baby. And I don't know what happened. It was like my mother was there. Some type of way she was able to put the heart and the lungs back inside of the baby. And the baby was okay. And we were still calling the nurse, still no nurse. Like, we had, done everything with the tubes, the umbilical cord. And there was another small little piece that came out with the baby that looked like this small baby. And I was like, what is this? And the baby started talking to me. The baby was like, that's the other child that didn't make it. And I was like, oh, okay. Then the baby started talking to me. And then the baby also was saying something to me. And I was like, okay. So then I told the mother, and then I told my mother, I'm like, did y'all hear the baby is already talking? Like, the baby just told me something. And the baby was telling me, it was like, they're not going to understand. And I'm like, this a newborn baby talking. Like, this baby is moving fast. And so, that was the baby giving birth to the baby. And then the baby started to talk, and then the baby, a little piece that was attached with the baby was a part of the baby, but not, because I guess it was going to also be like a twin, but that did not survive. So from that part of the dream, I transitioned into what I recall as going to a wedding ceremony. And there were two lines. There was a line for the heavier food and the line for the light food. Oh, before I get into that, I remember laying down at the hospital. And laying down at the hospital, there was another child that was there. It was like the mother that was giving birth also had a child. Looked like she was about 2 or 3 years old. Now I'm laying back, and I had my hair like in plaits, as little girls who wear these little plaits with their hair plaited up. I had these two thick, and as a little girl, I had really thick plaits, and they were thick and long plaits. So I was laying back, and the little girl came by and snipped my hair, and she took a half a piece of one and a whole plait, and left just a half and one whole plait. So I'm like, okay, this little girl cut my hair. So I get upset. And I tell the mom, I'm like, your little girl, she didn't cut my hair. Like, I remember just being so upset about her cutting my hair. And you know, women, we take time to grow our hair, and then some little child come and cut your hair. It's your hair. Ain't no weave, no wig, it's your hair. So in the dream, I remember just getting upset, and I was like, this little girl cut my hair. And I was like, okay, she didn't know what she was doing. And then I was like, how am I going to wear my hair when half of it's cut and the other half of it's long, but then it's uneven because this part, I said, and then it came to my mind like, and then I got locks, so my hair ain't even the same as people without locks. I was just going on and on and on. And then my mother was like, you know, I'm sorry. And then it came to me. I took my hair down. I was like, let me just take my hair down, see what it looked like. And when I took my hair down, it was like so soft and flowy. I was like, oh, that's not bad. And I was like, okay, not a big deal. It'll grow back. So it's been showing me a lot in dreams about releasing attachments, as I gave you the dream yesterday of letting my purse go and my wallet. And in this dream last night, it was letting go of my hair and not being attached to my hair. And these are possibly things that we don't think about on a daily basis that we have attachments to, and it's helping me to release attachments to this physical plane in existence. So anyway, it goes on to now I'm at this huge wedding. It's so huge. We're at the reception, not at the actual ceremony of the wedding, but it was the reception. And it was 2 lines for the food. There was a line for the light and a line for the heavier food. And I was in the line for the light. And I was telling, it was like people that I knew around me, I'm like, y'all may want to get in the heavier line because I don't eat meat. And they serve meat and everything you want over in the heavier line. And I'm over here, even though they're serving chicken, I'm going to ask them, do they have anything that's vegetarian? So you may want to go on the other side. And so I remember it was like, my friends' younger boys or something, they went over on the other side. They was like, oh yeah, we're going to go on the other side. All right, so then they do that. So then the dream skips off again to where I am teaching Qigong and meditation and a Tai Chi class. And this is like really a Tai Chi class, and I do Tai Chi Qigong. I do that in this reality, but it was like my class there. It came into my dream, and it was like me and a few of, I don't know who else these people were. It's like they were in the class. We were on these all white beds in the front, and there was some people out who were doing the class that were in chairs. My normal class who were in chairs, and then we were like, they were my class, but we were instructors too, but it was like it was my class, but they were a part of helping me instruct. I don't understand. But they still were under my class, like initiates or something. And I was laying down, and I was like, okay, we're going to do a meditation. We're going to do Qigong before we do Tai Chi. So we laid there. We was doing some movements. And then we were going into a moving Qigong. While we were laying on the bed, they were in their chair. And I asked, there was another lady there. It was kind of like a younger white girl. And I told her, I said, well, you do the Qigong. Go ahead and take us through like the moving Qigong meditation. And when she took us through that, there was something that popped up like in my mind's eye, and it ended up being Malkuth. Malkuth. And if you aren't familiar with the Kabbalah, you know Malkuth is the bottom of the Kabbalah. It's the Sephirah over this physical existence, earth, physical realm, Malkuth. Some people may say it coincides with the earth plane, or also Saturn, maybe our sensual senses, nature. I was saying Malkuth is like this cosmic planet. It was while she was doing the meditation, she started talking about Malkuth. In my mind's eye, I was seeing this cosmos of Malkuth being this actual planet. So So with Malkuth being this actual planet, it's like she took us through it for a little bit, and then I was like, okay, I'll take it from here. And I took it from there. I told everybody to just sit up. We was getting ready to do our, stretching into our Qigong, and then we're going to go into meditation. I said just for about 15 minutes, and then we're going to do our Tai Chi. There was someone in the audience that was there. She was Asian, and she was speaking to someone who wasn't Asian, but it was her first time in the class. I had never seen her before in any dimension of reality, here or there. But she was saying, she was speaking in Mandarin. It's like she was speaking in Chinese. And it was like she was saying something using our numbers, and we're trying to sit doing our Qigong meditation. She was extremely loud, and she was loud talking to another member of the class. So I got loud too. I was like, you have to be quiet. We are doing our Qigong meditation, or you're going to have to leave. Well, she got upset because she didn't think that I was going to address her. She thought I was going to allow her to continue to talk in Mandarin loud while I was doing it. And when I addressed her, she got upset. So she left out and she came back. It was like she was going to talk to the director or whatever. And I was like, I don't care. We continue to do our movements. So when she came back, she was back quiet. It was like she apologized. And she was like, well, I just want to know, because I'm here for Tai Chi and we're doing Qigong, and I only came to this class, like I was invited to this class just to do Tai Chi, and we haven't done any Tai Chi yet, and that's why I was a little upset. And I was okay. I said we were going to do Tai Chi in 15 minutes, but now that you have redirected our time, now it looks like we're going to shorten this and we'll have about 8 minutes to do Tai Chi. We're going to go into Tai Chi. So I looked back at the clock. And time had ran over where it was almost 10 o'clock. And I was like, okay, well, let's go ahead. I told them, I said, let's go ahead and move and do the Yang style Tai Chi form. And we went from being inside where, like I said, it was a group of us that was sitting on these white beds. And it was a group out that was in chairs that was doing it with us. We went from inside to being outside. It was outside in this wooded area with all of these leaves. It's like fall time, right? The first of fall, when all the leaves fall from the tree. And all of the leaves were all these pretty, beautiful colors: red, orange, yellow, just all these browns and red colors, just big old thick stacks of leaves just all over. And then we started the form. And then I noticed that the lady who was speaking out loud in Chinese, she was there. She knew the form. So I was happy that she knew the form. She was doing the form with us. And so when it got to a part, I was instructing everybody, even though it was people there they was talking it through and walking through with it. It was still like I was the instructor for the entire class. So the class ends, and then the dream transitions to me in a car. And it was like I was in a part of town, and I was like, oh, I'm close to his mother's house. I'm going to stop by there. A friend of my mother's house. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go by his mother's house. When I went by his mother's house, it was like I had a key or I had a way to get in. I just went in. She didn't know I was there. And I was going to the back of the house, and going to the back of the house, there were my mother's clothes in the back of the house. And I heard her in another room, like playing music and everything. And I was like, okay, she's not going to come back here. So I'm in there. I was like, I need to, I was trying on some jeans and some other stuff that my mother had in that house. It was weird. And then his mother starts to come around. I was like, oh my gosh, you don't know that I'm here. So she comes around, she sees me, and she's like, hey, I know you was coming by. I was like, yeah, I was just stopping by. Have you talked to him? And she was like, yeah, I just got off the phone with him. He had just finished playing a basketball game. And I was like, yeah, I just decided I was going to stop by and, get some of these clothes and stuff out of your way. And then she showed me a pink dress, and she was like, oh, this is so cute. And then I pulled out a pink dress, and I was like, yeah, they are so cute. And so I said, yeah, I'm going to take these. So it's almost like her pink dress and my pink dress had similarities on the style, but I think mine had like these little white decorations, little lines of white in the front. And hers also had white, but it wasn't right like mine was in the front. It was like hers had white specks somewhere else. But they were very similar looking dresses. They were really cute. And she was like, oh, this is so cute. She said, I just love this dress. She said, it's so cute. And that's, like I said, I showed her mine. And she was like, oh, they're so cute. I was like, yeah. She's like, these are just like beautiful, dainty dresses. I just love how they flow and how they look on you. I was like, yeah, they are so cute. And then she was like, well, okay. And she stepped off to the side, and I went in the closet. So there was this closet, and in the closet there was this like old wedding clothes. It was like my mother's old wedding dress, and photo albums from the wedding. It was just like a whole bunch of stuff from her wedding when she married my father. And I was like, oh, I didn't know this was in here. And there was also a reel in there that I was able to look up of different protests and things that had happened in the 70s. One of them was from 1975. I was looking in there, and another looked like it was from further back than that. And it was like this reel that was just playing that I was able to see. And then the wedding dress. And I was like, oh, God. I said, this is the wedding dress. I said, okay, this is the dress that I'm going to wear. And then I wake up. So yeah, that was the series of dreams. Definitely knowing that the triple goddess energy was in full effect of the delivering of the baby. That baby is that ushering in of this new energy, that cycle that we're going into. As we are knowing it as 2022, it's coming in fast. It's not going to go through those slow stages like we did before in past years. Just like the baby did, it came out being able to talk. So it's gonna be able to move fast. Things that we want or we desire are going to come through if we release attachments. That was the cutting of my hair. If we release the attachments, so those things that we think we need or we should have, we'll see things that are better fit for us start to come forth. Just like when my hair was cut and I thought that was an all B, but remember when I took my hair down, I saw how it flowed and I loved it just the same. And it was even more beautiful in that stage than it was before. And so that's what we're going to have to do, and what we'll be able to expect, that if we release those attachments, we receive things that are even greater. We have to go into the line of the light. I see that as meaning has many meanings. When I was in the wedding reception, that is moving forward. Like, okay, you've had the ceremony, you've went through the process of this spiritual journey, you come into your awakening. Now, are you light, or do you want to still be in the heavy line? Are you light to receive the light? Are you in that line of the light to receive that light energy? Everybody may not be able to receive that light energy. They may still be carrying attachments, and they're not able to be light. They have to still be heavy, and there's going to be a separation. We're going to see more of a separation in 2022 of those who are of the light and those who are still wanting to be heavy and carry and hold on to those things that make them heavy. And then we go on to the other part of the dream in which I was doing the Tai Chi. You're going to have to tell people and be vocal using your throat chakra, your authority of who you are. Those of us who are light beings, who are light workers, who are starseeds, whatever your calling is in this reality, you're not going to, moving into this new cycle, you're not going to allow people just to do anything any type of way. There's balance and there's order and there's proper direction, and you're the ones that's here to put this direction and this order back into place on how it needs to be, and nobody can disrespect that. They'll have to go, figure themselves out, then they'll have to come back, apologize, bow down, and come back to you to get in alignment to the way that you do things. And that's what I was getting from the Tai Chi class and the Qigong class with that. expecting is going to come to you as you have done the work and detached and going into the light and receiving more light energy. So they're going to recognize you on all levels, on all planes, and all dimensions of existences. They will have to follow the work that you have done. And then it goes into, you getting your clothes, you getting the things that you need, your dreams being fulfilled, your cup runneth over, you being fulfilled, you being able to get into doors and spaces that you have the keys to, that you didn't know you had the keys to. You had the keys to these different locations and these places that you didn't even know you had because you have been doing the work. And you're able to get in these spaces without even asking for permission, because you don't have to ask permission. When they see you in these spaces, they're like, hey, we've been waiting for you to get here. We knew you was coming. We're not even surprised that you're here, nor are we going to put you out, because this is where you belong. This is your space. This is where you are supposed to be. And now that you've come to awareness, now it's for you to understand everything that's in this space and how you need to fit into everything that's for you. And then things will start to be revealed. So your intuitive and your psychic abilities will start playing itself out like a reel. Like when I went into the closet and I was able to see this reel playing itself out, you're able to see things just play themselves out like a reel. Things that you've already seen before, possibly in past lives, in dreams, in your oracle readings. You're going to see them playing out just like a reel. It's going to be real, R-E-A-L, but it's going to play itself out like a R-E-E-L. And so with the wedding dress, you're going into a whole new person. When you get married as a woman, you get your last name is changed. You take on a whole new name. So you're taking on this brand new energy of a person. You're ready. That dress is ready for you to put on for your ceremony. You're stepping into your ceremony of the new person that you're coming into to be. So it's time for you to put on the wedding dress, to have your ceremony, because everything is laid out there for you. Everything that you need, everything that you want, dreams, ambitions, that's light work. Like if it's something that you're looking to come into this reality, that's easy. That's already done. That's light work. And it's like, okay, this is here. This is what you want. And it's going to come forth, manifest. What do you want to happen after that? So, that was the dream. Those were the intuitive messages that I received from the dream. And for those of you who are watching this, if you receive anything else from it other than what I've received as a message from my spirit and my guides and my inner knowing and my highest energy, then please, share, leave a comment, and follow, like, subscribe. And as we walk into this new cycle, new energy, you all just get ready. Release everything that you are attached to, because if you don't, it's going to be a heavy ride. If you release it now, you're going to be able to ride that wave and come into everything that you thought was the impossible. It is possible, right? So, peace, y'all, and always high frequency.